Take a slow breath and let your body soften. Drop your shoulders. Listen with your heart instead of your ears. If you're here right now, it's because someone feels your absence. Even if they never say your name out loud, a quiet distance is forming, and they sense it before you do. Some people don't panic when they're losing you. They change inwardly, and that silent shift reveals everything. You don't always notice the exact moment it begins. There's no announcement, no dramatic ending, just a subtle change in energy, in timing, in silence. One day, you stop explaining yourself. You stop waiting so hard for replies. You stop bending in ways that once hurt too much, in something inside them notices. Not because you said anything, but because your presence is different. This isn't about chasing. It's about understanding what happens inside someone's heart when they realize they may be losing the person who once made them feel safe, seen, and chosen. Stay with me, because what they do next often speaks louder than any confession. 1. They become quietly observant. When someone feels you slipping away, they rarely react loudly. Most of the time, they go quiet. They stop talking and start watching. They notice instead of asking. They pay attention to things they once overlooked. They see how your smile doesn't rush toward them anymore, how your energy feels lighter, less attached, how your replies no longer carry the same weight. And this silence isn't confidence, it's uncertainty. Late at night, they replay memories. They remember how easily they once reached you, how your presence felt permanent. Now, nothing feels guaranteed. They watch your stories. They reread old messages. They wonder who you're becoming without them. This stage is subtle, but powerful, because it's the moment they realize you're no longer standing still where they left you, and that realization quietly shakes them. 2. They feel the loss before it fully arrives. Before you're completely gone, something inside them already aches. Not panic yet, just a quiet heaviness they can't quite explain. They feel it in the pauses, in the space where your warmth used to arrive effortlessly. They begin to miss you, even while you're still there, and that confuses them. You haven't disappeared. You simply stopped reaching first. That small shift unsettles their heart. Your name doesn't light up their phone as often, and somehow, your absence feels louder than your presence ever did. They replay conversations, searching for the exact moment things changed. But it wasn't one moment. It was 1,000 small realizations. You stopped waiting. You stopped asking for more. You stopped proving your worth. And they feel that loss like an echo. Some nights they almost reach out, but pride, fear, or unresolved emotions hold them back. They don't yet know if they've lost you, but they know something meaningful is slipping away, and uncertainty hurts more than loss. Because deep down, they sense it. The version of you who once stayed without question is quietly learning how to let go. 3. Their heart enters a silent struggle. When they feel you pulling away, their heart begins to argue with itself. Not loudly, not dramatically, but in quiet moments, when no one is watching. One part of them wants to reach out, to speak honestly, to admit they feel the distance growing. The other part tells them to stay still, to protect their pride, to pretend they don't care as deeply as they do, so they do nothing. But inside, they're restless. They think of you at unexpected times, during ordinary moments that suddenly feel incomplete. They wonder how someone who once felt so close now feels just out of reach. They begin questioning themselves. Did they assume you'd always stay? Did they give less because they thought you'd give more? Did they mistake your patience for permanence? These questions don't have easy answers, and that's what unsettles them most. They remember how you showed up quietly, how you loved without conditions, how you stayed even when it wasn't easy, and now they feel the weight of that love, only because it's no longer guaranteed. This inner conflict exhausts them. They want to believe there's still time, but something inside whispers, time doesn't wait forever. They stand at the edge of awareness, unsure whether to step forward or let the moment pass. And they know, whatever they choose next may decide whether you remain or become a memory carried in silence. For their actions begin to reveal the truth. Eventually, silence becomes too heavy to hold. Pretending stops working. Feelings demand movement. That's when behavior changes. They might reach out casually. A simple message, a quiet reaction, a memory, mentioned without explanation, not because they don't care, but because caring feels risky now. They test the distance. They want to see if you still respond the same way, if your warmth is still there, if your presence still feels familiar. Sometimes they become more attentive. They listen closely. They remember details they once missed. Other times, they pull back again. This isn't confusion. It's fear. Fear they waited too long. Fear they took your love for granted. Fear you've already learned how to live without them, and yet, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. You matter more now than ever, because loss sharpens awareness. They feel the absence of your effort, the strength in your distance, the way you no longer chase what doesn't choose you, and that realization humbles them. 5. They understand too late what they risked losing. Clarity arrives quietly. No drama, no announcement, just the sudden awareness that you're no longer waiting. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with peace. And that peace unsettles them most. They remember who you once were, the one who explained instead of leaving, who hoped instead of walking away, who believed patience could save love. But you're different now. Not colder, just stronger. They see it in how you no longer ask for reassurance, how you don't lean on their words to feel secure, how your silence no longer begs. It protects. And they finally understand. You didn't leave all at once. You left, slowly, when your effort went unnoticed, when your love became expected, when your presence stopped being cherished. They feel the weight of that truth now, not because they lost control, but because they lost access to a version of you that loved without hesitation. Regret doesn't scream. It sits quietly in the chest, asking questions that no longer have answers. They finally see your value, not because you changed, but because you stopped shrinking to be chosen. And that realization stays with them long after you've moved forward. If this feels familiar, take a moment. Not every ending is loud. Some arrive as calm acceptance. Walking away doesn't always mean you stopped caring. Sometimes it means you learn how to care for yourself. If someone feels you slipping away, it's often because you chose peace over persistence, self-respect over waiting, truth over hope that hurts, and that choice matters. If this spoke to your heart, write one word in the comments. A word that reflects what you're choosing now. Peace, strength, closure, letting go. You're not alone, and your story is still